the fact that Arsenal have been dropping points and there's a potential match they could drop points again, does that leave you with a lot of confidence for the long stretch of the season?
Well, the result or the fixtures have not been able to tell the full story as it is. The last game against Manchester City, Arsenal should have won that.
Liverpool are not dropping points. As far as we could say, it's the early stage of the season. Yeah. These points are also very important. Mikel Arteta will take Arsenal to, of course, Newcastle United St. James's Park, which is not a happy home ground in recent games. Anyways, of course, it's all about not losing the match in the title race. And we'll preview that game right here on this edition of the Nutmeg. My name is Ayomide Daniels. I bid you welcome to a fresh edition of the show. Yes, indeed, you're welcome to a fresh edition of the show. I'm not alone, as always, I'm with Kay. And that's because Arsenal are headed for St. James's Park. And Kay,
wow,
great to have you again, as always.
I'm happy to be back on the show.
Yeah, of course. After a 1-0 draw against Manchester City, do you think you're satisfied? Arsenal have, out of 5 games, they've dropped points in 2 matches. And you're looking at Liverpool, and Slot has led them to 5 wins in 5.
Well, the result or the fixtures have not been able to tell the full story as it is. The last game against Manchester City, Arsenal should have won that, by a large margin. Of course, we weren't able to actually, create more chances.
And why is chance creation a problem?
It is, because I'm looking at...
With the wealth of talent,
yes,
up front, the solidity in midfield. Although I question why he used 3 holding midfielders in the last game.
I was going to say that if you look at the combination of the midfield, all of them are similar players. You have Zubimendi, Rice, and of course Merino. These are players of the same mold. Just a few differences here and there. But of course, it is what it is. We have a new game now. St. James's Park, like you said, hasn't been a ground we have been, happy to go to in recent times. And since 2022. We've only won once going to this ground.
So it just looks like a fixture where they probably would draw points again.
Yeah, let me say I'm a bit afraid, because of the
that nervousness is there.
But I still feel like it's a new season, and maybe we can just waver this. Maybe we now have what it takes to go all the way. And then I feel Newcastle this season, they've not been the same Newcastle we are used to in recent times. Scoring has been a problem for them.
They've not scored a lot of goals. They've not scored a lot,
this season. And then they've conceded more than 3 times. So I think we have a chance to exploit them. Yeah, and if you look at Arsenal defense, yes, we are not, I think we considered just 2 already in the season. So it's still quite good enough for us. But then on the balance of things, it will be whoever takes the chances that wins this one. But I'm sure the goals will not be much.
But another peculiar problem Arsenal have beyond creativity is the injuries, and that's a recurring problem. Bukayo Saka has just come, but Noni Madueke has joined other players on the sidelines for 2 months at least, at the very least. And this is something that seems to happen. You look at the number of hamstring problems, how it keeps recurring. Every season, there's always a story to tell when it comes to injuries for Arsenal, and this is one of the biggest impediments. Why is it so? And do you begin to question Arteta's training regime and fitness regime? Of course, North London there.
Yeah, it's something to worry about, for all Arsenal fans. And if you look at the recent injury, like you said, I'm not going to say I'm very comfortable with them, because most of the time they take us back to where we don't want to be. When you lose important players that should be available, but then I'm not going to question Arteta per se, and maybe I'm going to be questioning the health department.
But when you keep having the same kind of injuries, who do you question? Because the medical team are there to address the problems that come up, but you're having similar problems from different players, and some of them are recurring.
Okay, now we need to look at this factor that some of these players are coming from another team, and just like you mentioned, when most of them transition to Arsenal, probably sometimes they are coming with injuries. We do not know, but at least most of them, Declan Rice when they came on board, Merino, a lot of them, and even Nugget recently. Now,
Nugget has not. I don't think he's played.
To how I've even expected that. Now we have Noni Madueke joining. The injuries as something to worry about.
Okay, before we go, I have one last question to ask you. Beyond the predictions, maybe you tell me what you expect to see from the game as well in a matter of seconds. But I want to also ask, when it comes to the fact that Arsenal have been dropping points and there's a potential match they could drop points again, does that leave you with a lot of confidence for the long stretch of the season? Liverpool are not dropping points. As far as we could say, it's the early stage of the season. These points are also very important.
Yeah, they really matter on the count. But for Liverpool, they've been winning, not convincingly. But
they've been winning.
Is the point. But I can bet you that soon enough, we start seeing that some of these loopholes will be exploited. For Arsenal, like I said, it hasn't been how we wanted it. But then, of course, we are still not so bad off where we are.
So, your prediction?
My predictions, it's a tough one. Either we have a 1-0 win Arsenal or a 2-0 win Arsenal.
Something tells me this is a draw. We'll see who is correct between you and I. Tell us what your predictions are in the comment section as well. And thank you very much for watching this edition of the Nutmeg. You can be part of the community by hitting the subscribe button and also tapping the notification bells to get all our latest content. And most certainly, you can follow us on social media. We are at Guardian Nigeria across all platforms. Okay, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for being part of us, and see you next time.